I'm disappointed in Xbox. I know it isn't exactly a new thing to be listing grievances with the brand, especially considering the wave of videos completely trashing Xbox and Microsoft, criticizing their business practices, their lack of meaningful titles, and lamenting its slow decline. But for me, this hurts far more because I literally grew up with Xbox through the rest of the Xbox 360 era, and even during the Xbox One era when they were getting lapped by Nintendo and Sony. It became increasingly frustrating how I felt I was constantly being sidelined and advertised to every single second, with the home screen being turned into a billboard for ads, the terrible UI that was clunky to navigate, the constant updates, the exclusives from the 8th gen being underwhelming, and the excessive push for Game Pass becoming major turnoffs for me. For someone like me, being an Xbox One owner post-2020 was brutal. Microsoft had all but abandoned the system for the Series X and S, leaving those like me with no way to access most new titles. Most developers started skipping the Xbox One for third-party releases, or skipping Xbox entirely. For me, Konami not including the Xbox One for the first volume of the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, while still including PS4 and even the Switch, was when I understood loud and clear that developers do not view the Xbox One as worth the effort. And to add insult to injury, the one major title I wanted at the time that did have an Xbox One port, Elden Ring, ran terribly, stuck at 720p with frequent frame drops, pop-in, and long load times, only highlighting just how terrible the base Xbox One's hardware truly is. Meanwhile, the PS4 was, and still is, getting official support for most recent releases like Elden Ring, and running them better, while still getting some of the early exclusives meant for PS5, effectively keeping PS4 owners still mostly in the loop and not completely sidelined. And I know people might mention the Xbox One S or the Xbox One X, but in my opinion those don't really count, because it's kind of shitty to make someone shell an extra $400 or $500 to get a slightly upgraded version of their console instead of just making the original future-proof. Ultimately, Xbox's slow descent into stagnation and their aggressive acquisitions of every studio they can get, and their lack of focus on their identity, and their unwillingness to create any legitimate reason to invest in their platform beyond just Game Pass, only reveals one thing to me. They don't want to be the best option for consumers. They want to be the only option.